Welcome to
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing?
talk about so many different things
How
in
you
your
been?
life and everything
What's going on? What's good? Are you getting it in? Somebody getting it for you? What's going on, people? Subscribe to my channel.
Okay, I want to share this story with you. This is a long read. This is New York Governor Cuomo to take executive action protecting LGBTQ youth from conversion therapy. Now, this story is being reported as of January 25th, 2019. New York Governor Cuomo signs a trans rights conversion therapy ban. Now, New York City Andrew Cuomo this morning signed a bill into law to ban anti-transgender discrimination and the use of conversion therapy on minors. The state Senate Assembly had passed both bills. January the 15th, the Gender Identity Non-Discrimination Act on or Gender has passed the Assembly in every session since 2008, but have failed to clear the Republican-led Senate. Now Democrats have a majority on both chambers, a key factor in the bill's success. It added that gender identity and expresses to New York civil rights law banning discrimination based on characteristics of employment, housing, and public accommodations. The law has included sexual orientation since 2002. The conversion therapy bill prohibits licensed therapists with subjecting minors to discredit and harmful practices of trying to change their sexual orientation or gender identity. As the most progressive state in the nation, and as the home of the modern LGBTQ rights movement, New York has always been the front lines fighting for full protection of every individual. Andrew said that the signing ceremony at the New York City LGBTQ Community Center by signing into law gender and a ban on fraudulent practices on conversion therapy. We are taking another giant step forward in advancing equal justice for every New Yorker, regardless of their gender identity, sexual orientation. We are once again sending a clear and proud message that there are no place for hate in our state, and anyone who engages in the bigotry and discrimination will be held accountable. In the absence of legislation, Actor Andrew had issued an executive order and regulation having the same effect on two new laws, but those could have been undone by future governor. New York is now the 20th state plus the District of Columbia to have laws banning discrimination based on both sexual orientation and gender identity. One state, Wisconsin, and a law covering sexual orientation only, and several states have banned including characteristics but covering only state workers. Now the conversion therapy ban makes New York the 15th state in such a law. Several cities, countries that adopted several laws. LGBTQ advocates praise both pieces of legislation, legal protection both from violence and discrimination as a part of building an inclusive society where everyone can thrive regardless of their sexual orientation, gender identity. In a statement issued by Sam, head of advocacy as far as the government affairs of the Trevor Project, the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for the LGBTQ young people. The passage of gender into law is a tangible sign that hope that the youth who contact the Trevor Project crisis intervention service every day. We are grateful to the Governor Cuomo for his leadership in signing this important legislation. On the conversion therapy ban, he said, "We are grateful that the governor efforts to end this harmful practice and regulation on now official legislation send a strong message to the LGBTQ youth that they don't need to fear being subjected to so-called conversion therapy." Now, it has been overdue as far as the New York State to end the deplorable practice known as the conversion therapy, especially given the escalation of the attack coming to the federal administration. Sadrui Condry, Chief of Advocacy Officer of the New York City LGBTQ Community Center, added that a prepared statement, "We are thrilled that our state elect have finally demonstrated that we will step up to protect the inner residents and riddling of medical discrediting practice that target the most vulnerable, our youth, simply of their being themselves. The New York City have shown that when our federal government failed to protect the state, had the power to promise to advance progressive laws to create affirming places for all." Human Rights Campaign President Chad Griffin issued a statement today with the Governor Cuomo signature. New York has made bold historical progress by making gender the law as far as banning abusive and life-threatening practice of a so-called conversion therapy for the LGBTQ youth. The law will literally save lives, and the patches would not been possible without the tireless work of advocates and allies across New York over the last decade. We are old today. Celebration is a law part of the Senator Brad and Assembly members Richard and Deborah for their strong leadership and the legislation as far as the Senate minority leaders Andrea Stewart Cousins, who made them a top priority as far as this session. This came from Sarah K. Ellis, president of the CEO of the GLAD. Governor Andrew Cuomo today reaffirmed that millions of New York already know the LGBTQ people were born perfect and our lives should be celebrated, not silenced, at the time when the nation is living in a president whose agenda includes turning back the clocks of the LGBTQ progress and reassuring that our allies like the New York State Legislature Governor Cuomo advocating a full acceptance for all marginalized community. Okay. Okay, that's a long read. So basically he's banning conversion therapy and stuff, and this way a lot of youth that's coming up and stuff, when you have parents or people that's basically saying that something's wrong with you, they could do therapy on you. And what they do is they put these children in, I'm speculating from what I heard. They put you in this room, they do shock therapy. I guess they take this out of the machine and they shock you like almost like electric, but you just don't die. I'm speculating. But what I heard someone saying on TV, they said that they was shocked like in the machine and stuff, and the parents didn't know that's what was happening. So this practice is unrealistically, it's crazy. First of all, you're treating gay people, LGBT people, as if they're criminals, and you're electrocuting them. Basically, what I was heard. If you find anything different, let me know. But conversion therapy means they want to change you back to the sex you're supposed to be. So if you're born a male, you're supposed to act like a male. So basically, they're like gonna shock you to damn death in order to get you back to, you know, being what they want you to be. Unbelievable. You know, it's so sad that we live in this kind of world like this, but what can we do? We can't go nowhere else. We just gotta deal with the bullshit. It seems like it's always something new coming along. But thank goodness that somebody took the bleeding arm and put a band-aid over it and fixed it. Anyway, this was a long read, and it's just, I hate doing stories like this because it's so depressing. And sometimes I think I've been so gullible and so naive to all the negativity when it comes to so many levels. It's like it's always another level or somewhere else they did something, some other level. It's just I don't understand why people just take out so much time just to hurt somebody else. Anyway, I love your feedback on this, and I believe in your comments and stuff. Please share my videos. I put a lot of work in this stuff. If you want to, give me a donation, which I know you won't. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a safe day. And I'll probably be, I'll be reading your comments and stuff and share my videos. Love you guys. And please be safe, because we're still in the belly of the beast. And thank you for watching, Catch the Rave. And at the top, there's an Instagram button. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. Let you know I love you, and thank you for watching, Catch the Rave.